What is going on, guys? It is Super Bowl week. This is my last NFL video of the season. Hopefully, you guys have liked the content this year. I expect to fully bring it back next year. Maybe change up the style a bit. I usually post these videos late on Saturday nights with all my picks and stuff. I'm thinking for next year, maybe I'll do some more strategy type stuff for you guys throughout the week and then do the picks video on Saturday nights too. We'll see what happens. But let me know in the comments what you want to see from me for next year. Obviously, this NFL season was insane. We made so much money this year. I mean, this has been easily my best NFL season in the 9 years that I've been posting picks and betting through this Lay the House RM brand and everything. So I wrote up a newsletter about it on the Substack. If you haven't seen the Substack yet, it's completely free. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm writing up a article every single week. This past week, I talked about should you pay for a capper's picks, and what to look for if you're trying to find someone else's picks. I have a few articles in there talking about, how to find profitable player props using Outlier. A whole section talking about what I've learned in this NFL season. So that'll be a good one for you if you're watching this video. This NFL season was awesome. So hopefully we can cap it off with another win. I didn't post a video for the conference championships. I don't even think I had any bets in those games. If now that I look back at it, I don't force bets. I only place them if I think there's value. In those two games, I didn't think there was much value. I could have probably bet on some of the unders for the Broncos. Maybe I did bet RJ Harvey under. I don't know. I can't remember, but I would have bet probably like RJ Harvey under if I didn't. I can't remember if I did. But anyways, let's get into the plays for today. Just a couple quick shout outs, and I'm going to pull up the banner too. So Underdog Fantasy, I am a partner with them. If you don't have an account with Underdog Fantasy yet, you can sign up using code LayTheHouseRM. You play $5 on their site, they'll give you $75 in bonus funds right away just for playing $5. So really good promo for you. They have a bunch of promos for the Super Bowl too. They got some free wins out there, some boosts. Like it's really good. So take advantage of all of those boosts and promos across the board. On Chalkboard, Sleeper, PrizePicks, Underdog. Take advantage of all those free wins. Combine them with some of these plays that I'm going to talk about in the video. Get some last second money for the NFL before it all ends. And then we're stuck with just NBA and WNBA. I don't do baseball content. I wish I did. I'm just not good at the sport, so I won't go into it. But anyways, VIPs, they already got all these plays a few days ago. If you want to become a VIP, obviously no more NFL picks. But if you want to get all the NBA picks every single day, I don't post a video every day. I just don't have the time for it. You can get a 7-day free trial using the link in the description below to become a VIP. You get all of my picks, all of my slips. I made over $2,000 last month on all those slips that I posted for the VIPs. Over 100 units. I think I've been profitable in each of the last 5 months too. It's just been a really good run for us overall. So if you want to become a VIP, use the link in the description below, or you can use this QR code I just popped up in the top right corner of the screen. But anyways, let's get into the plays for the game. I'm using Outlier. Obviously, this is the website that I use every day for my research. Maybe I'll come out with a video on strategy on how I use Outlier for NFL, but I'm probably just going to write something up on the Substack after the NFL season. And then before I get into the NFL season next year, I'll do a preview or something on how to use Outlier to find profitable NFL picks. But anyways, this is the tool I always use. It is a paid website. If you want a 7-day free trial for Outlier, there's a link in the description below that gets you just that. That's enough rambling for me. I know it's the last NFL video of the year, so I wanted to get everything else out there. I appreciate all the support you guys gave me this NFL season. Been a lot of growth in the Discord, a lot of growth on this YouTube as well. I think I gained like 2,000 subscribers during this NFL season, so really appreciate you guys. Keep them coming. I try my best to get all this content out to you all. I only have so many hours in every day where I could do it. I work full time. Like it's very difficult for me on some days, but I do my best for you all. But anyways, let's get into the plays here. I only have one straight bet, and then I have 3 parlay fillers, which you're probably only going to find them on like PrizePicks, maybe DraftKings, or Underdog Fantasy. Like it's going to be very tough to find a couple of these, but let's get into the plays. The first play is Kenneth Walker. Under 74.5 rushing yards. Now, I know Charbonnet's out, so Walker's going to be the main guy. If I look at the games without Charbonnet this year, there's only a couple, but he had 38 yards and 62 yards, but I don't care about that too much. He had 16 and 19 carries. That's around what we could expect his workload to be, somewhere between 16 to 20 carries against the Patriots. The Patriots run defense, I have been avoiding it the entire season. They've played however many games. I've taken an under on a running back against them. I think 90% of the time this entire season. Reason for that, they're only allowing 77.1 rushing yards per game to running backs this year. Only 4 players have gone for 68 or more yards against them, and only 5 players went for over 58 yards against them on the entire season. They're just so good defensively, and I know you can knock them and say, oh, they've played terrible teams, but I don't think that matters. They didn't have their bye week until week 14. They've been so strong against the run. I'm going to go with it one more time. Kenneth Walker's gone under this number in 13 out of 19 games this year. So a solid win rate. Even without Charbonnet both games, he went under this number. I think it's a bit too high. I think the only way it burns us is if the Seahawks do get out to like a massive lead and Walker gets like 25 carries or something, which isn't out of the realm of possibilities. I hope it doesn't happen as a Patriots fan, but you never know. You always got to be cautious of the outcome, but that is my only regular bet on the Super Bowl. Like I said before, I don't force anything. I'm not the type of person to just make bets to get bets out there. I'm only going to play stuff that I think is actually going to win, that fits my research process, that really just, that I'm confident in the money. So let's get into the parlay fillers or these alternate lines. I guess I do have one line that isn't really a parlay filler. It's more of just like a fun bet. It's only on Underdog Fantasy and PrizePicks. PrizePicks actually boosted the line a little bit more. So only placed this in Underdog Fantasy, but it's Travion Henderson over 0.5 first quarter rushing yards. He went over this number 17 out of 20 games this year. Obviously, he's the number 2 back behind Ramondre Stevenson, but he's gotten at least 2 carries in every single game this season in the first quarter. I think he can get a yard. I mean, 2 carries, I'd assume he could, maybe he gets like a 3-yard carry, right? Like, all we need is 1 yard. And for him to stay over the 1 yard. So I think it's worth taking a shot on. I do have it in a slip. It's kind of a fun bet. I wouldn't normally make this bet if it wasn't the Super Bowl. But it does fit what I'm looking for, and like the opportunity is there. So one little fun one, Travion Henderson to get at least 1 rushing yard in the first quarter. Only on Underdog Fantasy. PrizePicks has it at 1.5. No point in placing it on PrizePicks when, if you have PrizePicks, you're almost certainly going to have access to Underdog Fantasy. If you don't, use that code on the right there, Lay House RM. Get the bonus funds. It's a big week for the promos. So that's the 2 regular lines. Now we'll go into these 2 first half props that I'm on. The first one is Hunter Henry over 4.5 first half receiving yards, only on PrizePicks and DraftKings. He's gone over this number in 17 out of 20 games this season. While the Seahawks' weak spot in their defense is actually against the tight ends, they've been elite this year just across the board, but the one spot that they've been giving up a lot of yards has been the tight end position, as we saw with the Rams last week and, all the weeks prior. We'll scroll down here. We could see Parkinson and Higbee, this is only first half, but they ended up having some decent games against them. Jake Tongas had the huge game against the Seahawks, which we were all over. I've been targeting tight ends against the Seahawks most of the season. First half receiving yards for Hunter Henry, kind of obscure. But 27 other tight ends have actually had 5 or more receiving yards against the Seahawks this year in the first half of games. That's a pretty large number. In 20 games, 27 or 19 games, 27 tight ends having 5 or more yards in the first half. Patriots, they really only have Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper. One or both of them will probably get at least 5 receiving yards in the first half against the Seahawks. So that's one strange play for you. The other one is another first half prop, and it's Drake May over 74.5 first half passing yards. He went over this number every single game this season, except for the AFC Championship against the Broncos. I know the weather wasn't really that bad in the first half, but the Broncos defense is just elite. He definitely struggled to move the ball. He's had a fumbling issue. He really hasn't looked great in the playoffs, to be honest with you. But, he's gone over this number almost every single game this year. Last year it was a little bit different. I'm not even going to look at it. He's just been so different this year. Basically 84 plus yards in every game, except for the one against the Broncos. and 13 other quarterbacks have thrown for 75 or more yards against them in the first half of games this season. So fits that trend too. It's everything that I'm looking for. I know the Seahawks defense is pretty solid, but 75 yards in a first half in a game where they might be trailing, it makes sense for Drake May for our parlay filler on PrizePicks and DraftKings. But obviously, the main bet we're on, the Kenneth Walker rushing yards under, that's the one you'll get on all the other sports books. If you want, there, let me take off this banner really quick. If you want to go with the Henderson, the Henry, and May, those are really only for like PrizePicks or Underdog Fantasy or just for fun, basically. So that's going to wrap up our final NFL video of the season. Drop a comment if you've liked this content for me. Boost me up in the algorithm. Drop some likes in this video. It's the last one. We've had a great year. I've loved this NFL season. I say it every week. Making this video, super late on Saturday nights was the highlight of my week this entire season. It's just fun. I love talking football. I love making money on the player props. It's just been an unbelievable year. So I appreciate you guys for the content schedule moving forwards. Trying to get more NBA out to you guys. I made a video the other day where it was a bit different than my normal approach, where I was literally like starting from scratch and showing you my process from nothing. I'm mainly focusing on like the Substack right now, posting an article every week. And I'd love to get more videos up for you guys in this YouTube channel. But I want to avoid like just doing pick videos too, because I want to teach you guys. I want to show you guys how I do things. I want you guys to be able to self-serve, find these winning picks yourself, set you all up for success. And that's really my goal of everything with Lay the House RM, with the Discord server, with the Substack, with all of my content. I want to show you guys that it is possible to make money betting on sports, and you don't have to spend thousands of dollars for someone's picks or some tool out there that's going to give you these picks, or like build some custom model or something. It is 100% possible as long as you put the work in and are doing the right thing. So, like I said before, I've been rambling a lot, so I'm going to cut this off now, but I appreciate you guys. Best of luck on your bets for the Super Bowl, and thanks for watching. Thanks all.